You probably ruled this out. You have $2.5 million saved, maybe more. You're thinking Affordable Care Act subsidies. That's not for me. That's for people who don't have money. Here's what I want to show you today. It has nothing to do with how much you have. It has everything to do with how much income you show. And if you retire before 65 without a deliberate income strategy, you could pay $20,000 more per year for health insurance than you had to. Same portfolio, very different result. That's the game nobody is playing until now. I'm Dustin Rudolph, owner and founder of Legacy Ascent Wealth. And on this channel, we focus on helping retirees plan so that they can live their best retirement. So let's get into it. Here's what most people believe. The ACA, or the Affordable Care Act, is for people who can't afford health insurance, low income, limited assets. So if you have a $2.5 million portfolio, you're out. You don't qualify for subsidies. You pay full price until Medicare kicks in at 65. And that belief costs people tens of thousands of dollars because ACA doesn't look at your net worth. It looks at your modified adjusted gross income, or your MAGI. And the thresholds for 2025 look like this. If you're married filing jointly, the meaningful subsidy ceiling hits at around $81,760. If you're single, it drops to around $60,240. That $21,000 gap matters enormously, and most people never think about it until it's too late. A couple with $2.5 million in a $55,000 modified adjusted gross income qualifies for significant subsidies. A single retiree with the same $2.5 million and $65,000 in MAGI, subsidy gone. Same portfolio, very different result. In many cases, it's the same person at a different stage of life. The last part is important. We'll come back to it. And here's the part that changes everything. You control that income number. But most people, even smart, well-prepared retirees, are accidentally pushing it in the wrong direction. Let me show you exactly how. So here's how ACA subsidies actually work. They're tied to your income as a percentage of the federal poverty level. For 2025, a single person earning up to roughly $60,000 qualifies for premium tax credits. A married couple, up to about $81,000. But it's not a gradual fade, it's a cliff. Go $1 over that threshold, and depending on your situation, you could lose thousands in subsidies instantly. Now here's where it gets dangerous for the people watching this video. You're not low income. You have significant assets, but you can still control your income. That's the lever. And most people, even smart, well-prepared retirees, are accidentally pushing the wrong buttons. Let me show you how. So here's the 3 income traps. Trap number 1, the Roth conversion you thought was smart. Here's the scenario. A couple ages 62 and 60, $2.5 million saved, retire this year. They know Roth conversions are valuable before RMDs hit, so they convert $80,000 in year 1. Smart isolation. But that $80,000 get counted as income. It hits their modified adjusted gross income. Add in their $30,000 in investment income, and suddenly they're at $110,000. Subsidy gone. Their monthly premium goes from $850 to $2,400. That's $18,600 per year for 3 years until Medicare. The Roth conversion that was supposed to save them money cost them about $55,000. That's not a tax problem, that's a sequencing problem. The conversion wasn't wrong, the timing was. Trap number 2, the portfolio that's quietly working against you. You're retired, you're living on cash reserves, you think your income is low, but your $2.5 million brokerage account with a 2.5% dividend yield is generating $62,500 in income you didn't ask for. You didn't withdraw it, it just appeared. Now here's where filing status suddenly changes everything. If you're married, $62,500 in dividend income leaves you with nearly $20,000 of room before you hit the subsidy ceiling. Manageable with the right sequencing. If you're single, that same $62,500 already pushes you over the cliff. Before a Roth conversion, before Social Security, before you spend a single dollar. The portfolio itself isn't the problem. And here's what I want you to sit with for a moment. Many of the people watching this video are married today, but retirement is long. Divorce happens, spouses pass away. A couple managing this beautifully as a married unit, suddenly filing single after a loss or a gray divorce, faces a completely different income picture. The same strategy that worked at $81,000 now puts them over the cliff at $60,000. That transition is almost never planned for, and it's one of the most financially vulnerable moments in retirement. Trap number 3, and this one surprises people, Social Security. You retire at 62, you decide to start collecting $28,000 per year. Now combine that with your dividends and a small Roth conversion, you're suddenly well above the subsidies threshold. And here's the compounding problem. You claim Social Security early, which permanently reduces your benefit. You lost your subsidy, which costs you $15,000 per year, and you triggered higher income in exactly the years you needed it to be low. 3 decisions, each one defensible on its own. Together, it exposes your portfolio. There is no undo button. If this is landing for you, hit subscribe. I put out content specifically for people managing real money in retirement, not theory, but strategy. Now let me show you what a right approach may look like depending on your situation. The people who navigate this well aren't necessarily smarter, they're more deliberate. They treat income in pre-Medicare years as a variable they'll manage, not a number that just happens to them. Here's what that looks like in practice. Step 1. Know your subsidy threshold before you touch a single account. For 2025, if you're married, we're typically targeting modified adjusted gross income between $50,000 and $75,000 in pre-Medicare window. If you're single, that target tightens significantly. We're looking at $40,000 to $55,000, sometimes less, depending on your portfolio's passive income baseline. Your filing status isn't just a tax category. In early retirement, it's a planning variable. Step 2, sequence your income sources deliberately. Live on cash reserves or after-tax brokerage principal first. Let tax-deferred accounts sit. If Roth conversions make sense, size them to fit. Under the cliff, not over it. Step 3, model your portfolio income, not just your withdrawals. Dividends count. Capital gains distributions count. At $2.5 million with a 2.5% yield, you're starting with $62,500 in baseline income before you make a single decision. If you're married, that's workable. You still have room. If you're single, you're already over. The strategy has to start earlier. It has to be more deliberate, and it likely means restructuring your brokerage allocation toward lower yield, growth-oriented positions to reduce passive income generation. The portfolio construction conversation and the income strategy conversation are the same conversation. Step 4, coordinate Social Security timing with your modified adjusted gross income picture. Delaying Social Security, even 2 to 3 years, can dramatically reduce income in the years it matters most. That delay also increases your permanent benefit. For single retirees especially, this sequencing decision is one of the highest leverage moves available. It's not flashy, but it matters because a $500 monthly premium versus a $2,500 monthly premium over 3 years is $72,000. That's real money. That's your liquidity buffer. That's your guardrails cushion. Here's what I want you to take away from this. You don't have to be low income to benefit from the income strategy in early retirement. You have to be intentional. The ACA doesn't penalize as wealth, it responds to income. And income, for most people watching this, is something that you have more control over than you think. One more thing I want to say, specifically to anyone watching this who's planning alone. Whether you've always been single, you're recently divorced, or you lost a spouse, the single filer picture is tighter. The margin for error is smaller, and the decisions you make in years 62 through 64 carry more weight. That doesn't mean the strategy is harder. It means it has to be more precise. And precision in retirement income planning is exactly what separates a sustainable income plan from one that leaves you exposed. The question isn't whether you qualify for subsidies. The question is whether you built a plan that lets you choose. If you have questions on this content or any other retirement questions, schedule a no-charge intro call below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.